Taurus, you know exactly who I'm talking about. That person who just popped into your head the moment you read the title. Yes, that one. The one who gave you butterflies right now. The one who gave you that tightness in your chest you can't explain. They didn't want you to know what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes. In fact, they've been doing everything they can to keep you in the dark about their true intentions. But the universe has decided it's time for you to discover the truth. And get ready, because this truth will change everything. You've been noticing strange things, haven't you? Small details that your Taurus intuition picks up on, but your rational mind keeps justifying. The way this person changes the subject when you ask certain questions, how they avoid your eyes at specific moments, how their stories never quite add up, how they always have an excuse ready when you need them, but then appear instantly when they need something from you. Your loyal and trusting nature has led you to ignore these red flags, but they're piling up like evidence in a courtroom you refuse to attend. This person has studied you. Yes, you heard right. They've observed your patterns, identified your vulnerabilities, and mapped your deepest emotional needs. They've discovered that you, like all Taurus, have an almost desperate need for stability and security in relationships, that you'd rather believe comfortable lies than face disturbing truths, that your loyalty, once earned, is practically unbreakable, and they've used this intimate knowledge of you as a weapon. What she's hiding from you isn't a simple secret. It's a double life carefully constructed to keep you exactly where she wants you, available for her purposes, but blind to her true motivations. While you believe you know this person deeply, the truth is you only know the edited version she allows you to see. The real version, with all her hidden motives, her other secret relationships, her agendas that don't include your well-being. This version has been purposely kept from your eyes. Have you been wondering why you always feel drained after spending time with this person, even when you haven't done anything particularly exhausting? Why do your conversations, which should be nourishing, leave you with a strange feeling of emptiness? Why do you leave dates with this person, questioning your own judgment on situations that once seemed clear? This is no coincidence. It's the result of a subtle and constant manipulation they've perfected specifically to address your personality. The truth she doesn't want you to discover is that you're not special to her the way she is special to you. While you put her on a pedestal, invest genuine emotional energy in the relationship, and make plans that include her in your future, to her, you're just a piece on a much larger board. A valuable piece, it's true, because you offer things that are hard to find: unconditional loyalty, emotional stability, practical resources, a solid foundation she can lean on when she needs it. But still, just a piece. Think back to all the times you had a hunch something was wrong with this person, but they managed to convince you that you were being paranoid, exaggerated, or insecure. How many times have you questioned your own instincts because they offered an alternative explanation that seemed more palatable? How many times have you chosen to believe their version of events, even when something inside you screamed that there were holes in the story? This is a technique called gaslighting, and it has been systematically applied to you. What will shock you most when you finally accept reality is realizing how many other people around you already knew the truth. Mutual friends who make subtle comments that you never fully understood. Family members who display an inexplicable coldness toward that person. Acquaintances who make that face when they mention their name, as if they know something you don't. They knew. Many of them always knew, but no one spoke clearly because they knew you weren't ready to hear it. The person who didn't want you to find out has an almost supernatural ability to detect when you're starting to suspect. In these moments, they quickly change strategy. Suddenly, they become more affectionate, more present, more attentive to your needs. They do things they know will move you. They bring up good memories you share. They remind you how important you are to them. And you, being a Taurus and valuing consistency in relationships, interpret this change as proof that your fears were unfounded. But these displays of affection are calculated. They're strategic investments to keep you engaged in the relationship for as long as she still needs you. When you stop questioning and return to a state of blind trust, she gradually returns to her previous pattern. It's a vicious cycle where her moments of clarity are always followed by periods of emotional turmoil she intentionally creates. The most painful secret this person hides is that they have plans for the future that don't include you, at least not in the way you imagine. While you're making long-term plans around their presence in your life, they're preparing for an exit you never saw coming. It could be another relationship they've been cultivating behind your back. It could be a geographic move they've already decided on without consulting you. It could be an opportunity they'll accept, even though they know it means leaving you behind. For Tauruses born between April 20th and April 30th, this person is likely hiding financial issues that will directly impact you. For those born between May 1st and 10th, the secret involves other romantic relationships they maintain alongside the one with you. And for those born between May 11th and 20th, they're hiding professional or life plans that will require them to sacrifice their relationship with you, a decision they've already made, but haven't yet had the courage to reveal. What she fears most is that you'll develop the courage to ask the right questions. Direct questions about inconsistencies in her stories, questions about where she really was in those moments when she couldn't reach you, questions about specific people in her life she vaguely mentions but never introduces you to, questions about her plans for the future and where exactly you fit into those plans. She knows that if you start seriously investigating, you'll uncover things that will completely shatter the image she's built for you. The reason this person has worked so hard to keep you in the dark isn't just to shield you from a painful truth, as they might argue when confronted. It's because they need you to remain who you've been for them, a safe haven, a reliable resource, a source of emotional and practical stability they can draw on when convenient. If you discovered the truth, you'd set boundaries. You'd make demands, you'd expect genuine reciprocity, and that doesn't serve their interests. Taurus, your biggest mistake in this situation wasn't trusting someone who didn't deserve your trust. It was consistently ignoring the signals your own instincts were sending. Your Taurian intuition is sharper than you admit. You sense when someone is lying. You sense when energies aren't aligned. You detect falsehood even when it comes wrapped in smiles and declarations of affection, but you've consciously chosen to ignore these signals because facing the truth would mean making difficult decisions. What you've been doing is creating elaborate excuses for behaviors that, if displayed by anyone else, you would immediately recognize as red flags. She's going through a rough patch, you tell yourself. She's not good with words, you justify. She shows love in different ways, you rationalize. All of these excuses are ways of protecting the version of reality you prefer to believe, even when all the evidence points to a very different truth. The discovery that's coming will be devastating at first, but also liberating. Devastating because it will shatter an illusion in which you've invested so much time, energy, and emotion. Liberating because it will finally allow you to see clearly a situation that has been draining your energy for longer than you care to admit. When you stop investing emotional resources in a one-sided relationship, you'll have energy available for genuine connections that truly deserve the treasure that is your loyalty. The universe is forcing this revelation now because you've reached a point where you're strong enough to handle the truth and wise enough to learn from it. Continuing to shield yourself from reality is no longer serving your growth. In fact, it's preventing you from accessing the more authentic and fulfilling relationships that await you on the other side of this painful but necessary experience. The person hiding this from you will likely deny everything when confronted. They'll use the same techniques that have always worked. They'll make you feel guilty for being suspicious. They'll downplay the facts you've uncovered. They'll promise changes they have no intention of implementing. They'll try to convince you that you're misinterpreting the situation. Prepare yourself psychologically for this resistance. They'll fight to maintain the status quo because it works perfectly for them, even though it's destructive to you. But here's something that will surprise you. When you finally confront the truth and set firm boundaries, some people will show you respect they never showed before. Others will simply disappear from your life, revealing that their presence was always conditional. And some, the right ones, will grow closer because they recognize that you're finally operating from your full integrity, no longer from a desperate need to maintain relationships that don't serve you. What this person hopes most is that even after discovering the truth, you'll choose to ignore it, to maintain the false peace that has characterized the relationship. They're counting on your conflict-averse Taurian nature, your tendency to value stability, even when that stability is illusory, your inclination to forgive serious offenses in the hope of preserving old connections. They're betting that you'll choose the familiar lie over the uncomfortable truth. But you can no longer pretend not to see what's right in front of you. The signs have accumulated to the point where denying them would require a level of self-deception your soul can no longer sustain. Your intuition is screaming so loudly that stifling it is damaging your mental and emotional health. It's time to honor what you know to be true, even if it means facing changes you'd rather avoid. Full disclosure will happen in waves. First, you'll connect isolated dots that were always there, but that you refuse to connect. Small inconsistencies will form a clear pattern. Seemingly innocent comments will reveal hidden intentions. Behaviors you've justified will reveal your true manipulative nature. It's as if you're putting together a puzzle and suddenly all the pieces fall into place, revealing a picture you don't want to see, but can no longer deny. Then you'll begin to question not only this specific person, but your own judgment. How did I not see this before? You'll ask yourself. What other signs have I been ignoring in my life? This phase of questioning, though painful, is crucial to your growth. It will teach you to trust your intuition more and less the words and promises of others. It will show you that consistent actions are the only true measure of someone's character. Taurus, what you'll discover about this person will force you to make a decision you've long avoided, prioritizing your own truth over the convenience of others. You'll have to choose between maintaining a relationship based on lies or having the courage to demand authenticity, even if it means being alone temporarily. You'll have to decide if your well-being is worth more than the approval of someone who has demonstrated that your best interests aren't at heart. The transformation that will result from this discovery won't just be about ending or transforming a specific relationship. It will be about establishing new standards for all your future relationships, about learning to detect signs of deceit earlier, about developing the courage to ask difficult questions even when the answers may be disturbing, about valuing your own intuition over other people's words, no matter how convincing they may be. The secret she doesn't want you to discover also includes information about how others around you truly feel about her. Conversations she had about you when you weren't around. Judgments she made about your choices, your personality, your dreams. Opinions she expressed about aspects of your life that you considered private and special. Discovering these betrayals of trust will be painful, but it will also reveal the level of respect she truly has for you. The person you thought you knew intimately will reveal facets that will leave you questioning whether you ever truly knew them. You'll realize that many of the qualities you admired in them were carefully calibrated performances to keep you engaged. That many of the special moments you shared were orchestrated by them to serve a larger agenda you couldn't see. That their spontaneity was often calculated. That their authenticity was often a well-constructed mask. But not everything will be negative in this revelation. You will also discover reserves of strength within yourself that you didn't know existed. You will realize that your capacity to love deeply is not a weakness to be exploited, but a superpower that should be selectively offered to people who demonstrate deservingness. You will learn that your loyalty, when directed properly, is one of the most transformative forces there is, both for you and for those who genuinely receive it. This discovery will teach you that there are different types of people in the world. Those who see your natural kindness as an opportunity to exploit. Those who ignore it because they're too self-absorbed to recognize it. And those rare few who value it, protect it, and return it with equal kindness. Your mission from now on will be to learn to identify this third group and invest your precious energy solely in them. The process of discovery will reveal not only who this person really is, but also who you really are when you're not being manipulated or controlled. You'll rediscover aspects of your personality that were suppressed to accommodate their whims. You'll reclaim dreams you abandoned because they considered them practical. You'll reconnect with parts of yourself that they directly or indirectly discouraged you from expressing. This person didn't want you to find out because they knew it would mark the end of their control over you. They've carefully constructed a version of reality where you need them more than they need you, where your options are limited, where your happiness depends on their approval and presence. The truth will shatter this artificial construct and show you that you've always had more power in the relationship than they've allowed you to realize. When reality becomes undeniable, you'll experience a complex mix of emotions. Relief at finally understanding why you always felt uncomfortable in certain situations. Anger at having been so systematically manipulated. Sadness at the loss of the comfortable illusion you've maintained for so long. But also a strange sense of liberation, as if a weight you didn't even know you were carrying has finally been lifted from your shoulders. Taurus, the person who didn't want you to find out, will try one last trick when they realize they've lost control. They'll appeal to your good memories together, promise radical changes, and try to convince you that everything can go back to the way it was if you just give them one more chance. Don't fall into this trap. People who systematically manipulate don't change overnight, no matter how convincing their promises are in a moment of desperation. What you'll discover will hurt. It will shatter pieces of your worldview that you thought were solid. It will force you to question your own judgment. But on the other side of this pain lies a stronger, wiser, more connected version of you. A version that no longer needs to tiptoe around other people's unstable emotions. A version that attracts relationships based on genuine reciprocity, not need or convenience. Discovery's coming whether you're ready or not. You can resist it, deny it, try to return to the comfortable ignorance that has characterized your relationship until now. Or you can embrace it courageously, use the pain as fuel for growth, and allow the truth, however uncomfortable, to free you to more authentic and satisfying connections. The choice is yours, but remember, the truth always finds its way to the light, no matter how many efforts are made to keep it buried. If you recognize this person while reading this, if you felt that tightness in your chest that confirms you know exactly who I'm talking about, then you've already begun the process of discovery. Share in the comments how you've been feeling about this situation. Sometimes naming our fears is the first step to overcoming them. Subscribe to the channel, because uncovering the truth is just the beginning. You'll need guidance on how to handle this revelation, how to rebuild your trust in your own judgment, how to set firm boundaries with people who tried to manipulate you. Get ready, Taurus. The truth is coming, and it will set you free.